When you're trying to upgrade a kitchen that's been churning out half-baked cookies and uneven pizza crusts, the first thought is usually, I'll grab the cheapest convection oven I can find and see how it goes. Most of us have lived through that disappointment in entry-level unit that can't keep a steady temperature, a fan that sputters, or racks that wobble when you load a full tray. The regret lingers, especially when you realize you could have saved a little more and gotten something that actually holds up day after day. So the question I'm tackling today is whether the Vulcan VC4ED electric convection oven feels like that smarter buy, the one that avoids the cheap alternative nightmare while still fitting a modest budget. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of kitchen environment where this oven lands. It's a single-stack, standard depth unit, which means it slides neatly into a typical commercial-style line or a serious home-based bakery setup without demanding a custom cabinet. The stainless steel shell gives it a professional look, but more importantly, it resists the greasy fingerprints and the occasional splash of sauce that would otherwise turn a cheap model surface into a permanent stain. If you've ever tried to clean a painted finish oven after a long roasting session, you know how frustrating that can be. Here, wiping down the exterior is a quick swipe with a damp cloth, and you won't be worrying about scratching away a finish. Now, the real test for any convection oven is how it handles temperature consistency across the rack positions. The VC4ED offers a range from 150F up to 500F, which covers everything from low and slow dehydration to high-heat pizza blasts. In practice, that means you can set it to 250F for a gentle reheat of a casserole without drying it out, or crank it up to 425F for a batch of chicken wings that need a crisp skin. The 60-minute manual timer is straightforward, just dial it, set the temperature, and you're done. It doesn't have a digital readout, which some might see as a drawback, but the simplicity eliminates the confusion that often comes with overly complex interfaces. For a small bakery or a catering operation that needs to keep things moving quickly, the analog timer is actually a time saver because you don't have to navigate menus. One of the practical strengths that shows up once you start loading the oven is the 11 rack positions. That gives you the flexibility to spread out multiple trays of muffins, cookies, or even full-size sheet pans of lasagna without cramming them together. In a real-world scenario, I've seen a small catering team prepare a breakfast service with 3 different pastries: cinnamon rolls, scones, and mini quiches all in the same bake cycle. By placing the rolls on the lower rack and the scones a few levels up, they got a uniform rise without one batch overcooking. The fan, a 2-speed HP unit, is the engine behind that even heat distribution. At the low speed, it circulates gently for delicate items like macarons. At the high speed, it provides that rapid, crisp finish you expect on a roasted vegetable tray. The fan isn't whisper quiet, but in a commercial kitchen you're already surrounded by clanging pans and ventilation fans, so it blends into the background. Where the VC4ED does stumble a bit is in its manual timer. Because it's not programmable, you have to be present to start the next cycle if you need back-to-back bakes. That can be a snag for a bakery that runs a continuous flow of orders and would benefit from a timer that can be set for multiple intervals. Also, there's no built-in probe for internal food temperature, which means you still need a separate thermometer to guarantee doneness for larger cuts of meat. If you're a home cook who likes to set it and forget it, you might find that extra step a little inconvenient. Who should consider buying this oven? If you run a small to medium-sized food operation, think a coffee shop that wants to bake fresh pastries on-site, a catering service that needs reliable, repeatable bake cycles, or a serious home baker who wants a commercial-grade appliance without blowing the entire kitchen budget, this unit hits the sweet spot. Its stainless steel durability means it can stand up to daily use. The temperature range is versatile enough for most culinary tasks, and the rack flexibility lets you multitask without compromising quality. It also fits nicely into a standard depth space, so you won't need to redesign your kitchen layout. On the flip side, if you're looking for a fully automated, programmable oven that can run unattended for hours, the VC4ED might feel a bit old school. Larger operations that need precise, programmable humidity control or integrated IoT monitoring will find this model lacking. Similarly, a casual home user who only bakes once a week and wants a sleek, countertop appliance with touchscreen controls may prefer a smaller countertop convection oven with more tech features. In those cases, spending a little more on a higher-end model could actually save you time and frustration. Let's dig into a couple of everyday use cases that,